Plan Commission.
Progress.
Okay, sir. I am going to call the Plan Commission meeting, Monday, June 3rd, 2024 to order. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Johnson.
Here.
Commissioner Francois.
Here.
Commissioner Brochus.
Here.
Trustee Brunner.
Here.
Trustee Kettlebaiter.
Here.
And Village President Langfeld.
Here. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, we're at public comment. This is an opportunity for anyone to address the Plan Commission on any issue. Please observe the time limit of 3 minutes. While the Plan Commission encourages input from residents and may not discuss or act on any issue that is not duly noticed on the agenda. I don't see anybody here. Is there anybody on the?
Only Sonia.
All right. We go to general business. Number 1 is approval of the minutes from the May 6th, 2024 Plan Commission meeting. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the plan commission meetings from May 6th.
I'll second.
All right, I have a motion and a second to approve the minutes from the May 6th, 2024 Plan Commission meeting. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same, so moved. Go to number 2, discussion and possible action, rezoning 0.5 acre portion of the property at 1209 Park Street from SR3 to L1, I think. LI, okay. We'll take these individually. We'll start with the public hearing. Do I have a motion to open up a public hearing?
I'll make a motion to go to public hearing.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Okay. Commissioner Johnson.
Yes.
Trustee Brunner.
Yes.
Commissioner Francois.
Yes.
Commissioner Brochus.
Yes.
Trustee Kettlebaiter.
Yes.
And Village President Langfeld.
Yes. All right. Do I have anybody to speak at the public hearing? But he doesn't.
Okay.
All right. Anybody on the internet?
Nope.
Do I have a motion to close the public hearing?
Make a motion to close the public hearing.
I'll second that.
All right, I have a motion and a second to close the public hearing. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same. So moved. B, discussion and possible action regarding 0.5 acres portion of property at 1209 Park Street. Want to come up and Mr. Esser, and let us know what you're planning to do.
So the whole point of this, in the first place was flood mitigation, from the 2018 flood. And in addition to that, plastic injuries not parking, we have no place to park vehicles. So I should back up a little bit. So as you can see by the map there, a portion of our parking lot is actually on school property. And their property line comes in about 12 feet into our parking lot. And, we've been talking with them over the years, we should probably get that corrected since we use that space and we maintain it. And the fence line pretty much has been the designated dividing line between the properties. So what we would do, we would add parking directly into, perpendicular to our parking lot into that space, which would give us about 33 additional stalls of parking. I don't know if anybody's driven recently, but it's starting to encroach on Park School, on Park Street, on Market Street, and we have no place to go. There's no additional parking, there's no land available. We're surrounded by the creek and the hill and Park School. Culture Implement is not in a position to provide any additional property for us, so we have added some parking in the rear or on the west end, and this isn't going to solve all the problem, but it will make a significant difference. In addition to that, it will also allow us to direct the water from that side instead of across our parking lot, right down along the edge of it through a spillway that will come along in front of our building. We spent a lot of money with Jewel and Associates at the same time that they worked with the village to look at what we could do along with the village to make this all work. And, they come up with what, they say, and, we agree with this pretty good plan. Our biggest concern was to make sure that the properties at the end of our street and Park Street were not affected by the new road, anything that we do, and they assured us as much as they do, that is not going to be the case. So, at the end of the day, it's not a huge deal to do this particular part. We have to acquire the land in order to do it. The school board is completely open to it. We met with them and they're good to go. We just had a survey. And at this point, our next phase is to actually purchase the property with your approval. And then we can at least start working on the parking portion.
All right. Does anybody have any questions?
We need a motion.
Well, we will, but if there's any questions, let's deal with it. The only thing I've noticed is on your handout that gives a description, it has IL zoning and other documents have LI zoning. What is it actually? Is it supposed to be LI or IL?
I think it's LI, light industrial.
So then we should change that.
Right.
You see where it says rezoning and land purchase discovery? Light industrial.
On the-
Okay,
Yeah,
So as long as, right,
correct.
yeah, I just want to make sure we get the documents
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Can I just ask, like, with the additional impermeable surface, how, it sounds like you worked this out, but how that helps with the flood mitigation?
Well, it would allow us to control the water. The flood mitigation would be with plastic injury. And then the flood, the water that would come down the hill wouldn't do anything for it. All it would do is come across the valley, like from the Park School area that comes under our property now. It would take that and channel it around in front of our building, which then we can also, we have berms that we can put up there as well as floodgates to keep it from coming in our loading docks. We hope we never have to use them, but that's the plan.
Bill?
This is just an accounting thing, so. This is recommended village board resolution. Is there a resolution number for this? I mean, I don't see an actual resolution per se, that's why. You know what I mean?
no, I get what you're saying, because when I was gonna make a motion, I was gonna make a motion to approve
The resolution, but there's no
Right,
resolution
from
number.
SR3 to LI.
Right, there's
But
no,
you're right.
yeah,
Yeah,
there's no
you're right.
resolution
I get
number.
it. I get what you're saying.
Okay, maybe I'm mistaken on that. I thought for the rezone here, that wasn't,
Why, unless we need a resolution. Well, that's what I'm at.
Well, is Sonia,
Yes.
Yeah.
do we need a resolution?
A resolution is not required for rezoning. The plan commission could take action just by a simple motion, and then the board
Okay.
would act by ordinance.
That's
Okay.
all,
Okay.
that's all I'm glad to know.
So like if I just said, I'm gonna approve the 0.5 acre portion of the property of 1209 Park Street from parcel from SR3 to LI, that will make a motion? That would be all you need?
I think
Okay,
that's
I will
sufficient.
make that motion.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, you didn't word it right.
Okay, I just read what it said, but okay.
No, you used, go ahead.
Because it said from SR3 to.
No, that part was right, but your first part was,
Okay,
I-
rezoning? No, what do you want me to say?
well, I think what we want to say is the 5 acre portion of property.
0.5.
point
Yeah,
five.
0.5, yeah, portion of the property at 1209 Park Street, shown on the survey to change from SR3 to LI.
Okay, that's the motion.
That would cover,
Okay.
see what I'm saying, it defines what it is.
Right, and I did get rezoning 0.5, but I didn't do that.
I'll second that.
Thank you.
All right, so I have a motion and a second. Seth?
So, is this parcel actually been split off already? You said you haven't purchased it yet?
No.
Okay, so has
It would be contingent upon the rezoning,
You
otherwise.
probably have to, so we can rezone it first.
Yes, you have to rezone. they're not gonna
They're not,
purchase
yeah.
it if it's not
If we say
rezoned.
no.
It's, the school district petition for the rezoning, since they're the current owner. I just don't wanna make sure that we're covered. The landowner is not asking for the rezone. The current landowner, correct?
Right, we would have to do it as a purchaser to get a rezone so that we could use it.
And that's where all good.
Yeah.
Right, but they're not gonna buy it if we say
Right.
no.
Yeah,
I just wanna make sure that we weren't getting hurt before the horse too.
No, I think what
Since it's
I'm
not,
guessing everybody wants to know is if we're willing to do it. They'll show that we're willing to do it, then the purchase will be made.
But we're not obligating the school district by making this.
No,
I don't think
if we
it was-
approve this, if the school board says no,
Yeah.
they can't do it.
but it would be rezoned anyway. The school board would just own that, still own it.
Right. Just be light industrial.
I'm just making sure this, when you rezone something that someone doesn't own, I just wanna make sure that that's.
Well,
I can't ask for.
first of all, it'll go to the board, so we're recommending this, so I guess it gives us some time. I see where you guys are coming from on this to clarify that, I'm not exactly sure how exactly that works. But I understand everybody's position, the same thing with annexation, people aren't gonna buy something unless it's, it's the catch-22 type thing. So this would probably, do you have an offer in already, and it's conditioned on the rezone?
Right.
Yeah,
There you go.
that's. So I think we're okay it'll give us some time anyways, so. We have a meeting, Wednesday, we'll ask Paul on that.
okay.
On the village attorney.
And we're just gonna be on the next village board agenda.
Right. That'll be, June 22nd, I think it is. Well, today's
Off
the
the top of my
3rd,
head,
right,
yeah.
so the 10th, 7th, 24th. then.
24th, yeah.
24.
All right, so let's do a roll call vote, please.
Okay, Commissioner Johnson,
Yes,
trustee Brunner,
I'm going to abstain.
okay. Commissioner Francois,
Yeah.
Commissioner Brochus,
Yes.
trustee Kelbeater,
Yes,
and village president Lakeville.
Yes. All right, so it passes, so we'll move on to the board then, on the 24th. Thank you.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
All right, here we go. Number 3, discussion and possible action on introduction to village comprehensive plan. I put this together. I thought it was actually pretty well written. You can see in blue, I just added a few things. I wanted to put a little bit more meat on it. I think if we have a chapter on it, it should be included as part of the purpose. And I do believe if we're putting all this time and investment into it, it should direct our decision-making and staff's decision-making. So those were just added to it. Otherwise, pretty much everything else stayed the same. Bill?
How does that differ then between the comprehensive plan and the village ordinances? Because the village ordinance is really what you should be aligning policies to and that type of thing, right?
Well, no, ordinances are the very narrowest scope of something. Policies, which the board really should be focused on, are big picture, and that's what a comprehensive plan, big picture. Ordinances help tell you how you have to do something.
Right.
But the policy basically is the big picture look at it. Ordinances are very narrow in scope. So there's no ordinance that says the board should follow this when we do this.
But is this a guide or is this a thou shalt?
No, these are guides.
I would say.
Okay,
These are guides.
so I mean, that's what I want to make sure that we're,
But to me, it makes no sense us putting all this time into
I
this.
agree.
And we're all agreeing that this is how we should move, and then we just throw it on the shelf for 10 years. I mean, we should do the job that this is really how we want the village.
Never happened before.
Yeah. So this just gives it a little more, saying, hey, people, when a new board comes in, they can kind of take a look at this and this is the strategic plan.
But the new board can change it again.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, they can, you're right.
And that's why
It is.
I'm not dictating
Yeah.
what they do. I'm just saying the board should consider the comprehensive plan when we make decisions. No different than the Parks and Recreation, comprehensive plan.
Right.
We should be looking at that as a guidance because we spent a lot of time and supposedly this is the direction our residents want. Sarah.
Brian, could you just, make it bigger?
Sure.
So I just don't have my computer, so I just want to. Okay, thanks.
Couple little comments, so, I like what you put in the blue, I think the third bullet should be shared goals, plural. Probably fosters partnerships to address shared goals.
Yep.
Um, And then Brian, if you can scroll down to the second page. Where it talked about the extraterritorial jurisdiction.
Oh,
Yeah, that one, I just don't know if since we've annexed a bunch of land. Has our ETJ gotten a lot bigger?
yeah, yes, it has.
Yeah.
Well, it has gotten bigger from what it was in 2018.
Yes.
It's always a mile and a half.
Right, but
But,
it's
right.
like 20 square miles, I don't know if we need to update
Well, that,
that.
I didn't work on the numbers part, we'll do that later. Because if I do it now in 2027, we're gonna be doing it again, so why rework it? But you're right, the actual square footage is large, or square miles is larger, because the mile and a half keeps going out. Yeah. No, I didn't do numbers on this one, because the maps we're gonna do at a different time.
That's fine. Sure.
Sarah?
Just to add to what Bill was stating, in bullet point, the second bullet point, do we want to just leave it as informs policies or say informs policies and ordinances? Or just leave it as.
You want to put ordinances in, and ordinances are really not part of the comprehensive plan, but I
The
don't.
whole idea is that this is informing actions that come, like more specific actions, right? Like this is the global,
It's kind of
Yeah, on
a
each
guide
issue.
by which you're supposed to follow.
and it's
Yeah.
understood that policies are in place for all related ordinances.
No, but that's not the case. You do not have ordinance for every policy. Policies are totally
Does every
different.
ordinance line up to a policy?
I don't know about, no, I wouldn't say a policy, you know, a traffic speeding, we have an ordinance on speeding, I'm not sure what policy that would line up with. We have a zoning code that part of it would be line up with some of the stuff in here, but other zoning parts are safety issues. And, you know, how thick the wall has to be, that's not part of this. So ordinances are much more narrow scope. Generally, they are not thrown into a policy or the big picture. They're the
Right.
smaller. That's why they're not generally in comprehensive. I don't have a big heartache if everybody wants to add ordinances.
Well,
to
you
that.
actually, it's already in there on the,
Oh, yeah, the last one.
yeah,
No.
well, the board may adopt ordinance approving the plan.
No, that's an ordinance saying that the board has approved the plan. That's state
Oh,
law.
yeah.
That's state law, you have to have an ordinance.
Right, that's what that, yeah.
Yeah, that is just a narrow scope on saying we have to have a plan, not what it says, or what you have to do.
Is a plan required by state statute?
I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah,
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and I guess I'm just trying to think, like, let's say 10 years down the road, none of us are here. And how does this plan, you know, what are the dotted lines?
10 years from now, they'll be redoing it.
Yeah.
state statute requires you have to do it every 10
Whatever.
years. Yeah,
Something we all get washed away in a flood next year and the new people that. come,
Yeah.
like, what are the dotted lines that link this to, you know, there's this policy, where, is this just a broad
No, people,
list document, or does it have a
No,
dotted line
well,
connection to policy?
what your point is exactly why I'm having us do this now, because you're right, things have changed. And we need to update our comprehensive plan because there are things that we probably want to do that weren't addressed in the comprehensive plan, or it's changed. And that's why you do that, but you're supposed to take this and look at it when you make big picture decisions.
So let me just give an example, just
All right.
recently, so let's just say a developer or like the apartment building that wanted to expand, or the, you know,
Mhm.
whatever they're called. So we were able to discuss and look at the ordinances about like, you know, parking and surface use and flood mitigation and all that, but in what way did that particular issue line up to this?
It would have lined up in the sense when you looked at that area, what on our comprehensive plan did we think should go there? So was it park dedication? Was it SR, was it multifamily? Was it single family? Was it light industrial? That's how you would look at that. That's how this plan is supposed to direct us.
It just seems so loose, like you could just interpret it any way.
You're right, that's,
And then that, like,
Well,
what's
that's
the
my-
purpose then?
no, that's my whole reason of putting this in. That's what I thought was lacking.
Yeah.
That we didn't have anything in here saying, hey, when you start making decision making, look at the comprehensive plan and see what the people wanted. You're absolutely right. That's what, what you're saying is clearly why I put it in there. Because I think we should, our departments and our policies, the board should be looking at this when we make decisions.
Right, so, for example, sorry, my computer scrolls opposite of your thing, so I'm all messed up. So, somewhere it was, you know, community characterized by rich natural resources, traditional neighborhoods, and small town character. Obviously, it sounds like the plan is supposed to really emphasize that all our policies and ordinances try to sort of funnel up to that broader vision.
Correct.
But then after we all get washed away from the flood and somebody comes in and says like, yeah, I wanna like, you know, take this land and add a new building. In what ways is it link, is anyone?
Well, they should.
required to
Here,
Link it to.
here's the thing. So let's say it showed that that's what it should be, just to make on both sides. Then they would say, look, your comprehensive plan shows that this should be this type of housing. That's what I'm recommending. Now let's go the opposite. Let's say it's the opposite, it's not. Then the people who are against it can say, hey, look, the comprehensive plan says it should be this. You're trying to change it. What's the justification? And you should stay because this was the representation of the people at the time. So you can use it for both ways. The problem that I have, and that's why I put it in, we rarely pull the comprehensive plan out and look at it. I'm sorry, I've been on
Can
it.
be changed.
And it, yeah,
It
yes,
can be changed. Every board can change it.
right, I understand that, but to answer Sarah's question, that's what I'm trying to get with those comments, that we should be looking at this and going towards our comprehensive plan. That's why the state has it. So that's more reason to keep this in.
Which part are you saying?
But I added, that's what I thought was missing.
No, I like what you, I'm just like asking, my specific question is like the link between comprehensive plan, policies, and then ordinances, which are the implementation of policies, right? So like, in what ways are these three big
Well,
entities?
I think policy is, we're probably have different definitions.
Yeah.
My idea of a policy is an actual written document. We don't have a written document, which is saying, this would be as close as we have when you come to land use. In the sense, we have ordinances that requires, you know,
So if we don't have specific policies, then why are we using that verbiage? Because you can't tie it to.
well, because I'm using it, I'm not literally using it as a written document. Boards are policymakers, elected officials are policymakers. Staff are the ones that get the work done, right? So when I'm using policy, I'm using the broader sense of the board. Not coming up with a written policy, I'm coming up with a
Actions.
yeah, the big picture look at. You know, like one would be, we want smart growth, okay? I don't have a written policy on smart growth. It's a policy that we all look at, we wanna balance the village. Right, and we wanna grow in a smart way that we don't ruin the environment, we get what we need. So that, to me, that's more of what, when I say policies, I'm not talking about written policy.
So what if you just took out informs policies act and just say guide village decision making that aligns? Well, I'm just trying to listen to both sides.
Because I.
Well, it's not a side, I don't care, I'm just trying to give you the definition of policies here are not written policy.
Right,
But
so
that's
it's
your
a-
definition, but like, I'm a citizen and I read that and I'm like, okay, show me the policy that said, you're saying there's policies, and now you're saying there aren't any, it's just this.
Well, most comprehensive plans have, I've read a number of them, most of them have that language in. It's not like I made that up, I copied it. But like I say, I'm not gonna fight over it, wasn't in there, I don't really care, I think you just,
oh, the intent is great.
huh?
The intent is great. The intent makes sense. I have no problem.
But if you want that eliminated, I'm fine with
No,
that.
I with you, I understand the purpose and what you're aiming at, I just see like, I can see it being
Okay,
I can see it easily being like, well, you don't have a policy for it, you said you would, so I'm gonna do what I want, right? But I guess I'm just looking for like devil's advocate kind of.
okay, I think you're missing, this is not about a person, this is about a document. So when it says informed, that's not a person, that's the document. That's this document, it's not a person that informs,
No,
it's the document.
I think you and I have gone to totally different wavelengths on this discussion. Like, I'm not really understanding where you're talking about a person. That's not what I'm just, I know it's not a person. It's supposed to be a broad guide, comprehensive plan.
The policy is talking about the comprehensive plan. Nothing
You
else.
said we have no policies, or the policies are just this blue.
See, you're keep thinking of this written, I'm thinking, this is supposed to refer to the whole document. As the whole document is a policy in the sense of moving forward, big picture. Right, that's what that is referring to.
So the comprehensive plan is the policy?
Yeah, yeah.
So then how does the plan inform itself?
It's fine, I don't, if people would like it removed, it really doesn't matter to me. You know, I just put in, this is what I put in, like I say, I'm not married to any of it. I'm just getting this done. If people are uncomfortable with the word policy, I can say informs, guide, how did you want, just guide, village?
Yeah, guys.
Okay. I'm fine with that. If everybody else is comfortable with that, it doesn't matter to me.
One other comment on all this.
Well, let's get this done, so.
Well, it relates to,
Oh.
we're gonna do guide, village decision making and align. All the existing bullets are all recommend, identify, preserve. And then the ones you added are all creates, informs, fosters, and share of the essence. So just foster partnerships, guide this village decision making, create a collective vision. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's
Those
to
are,
be considered.
those are easy changes, we'll get that.
But no, I'm fine with the overall, just getting rid of those first three words in that bullet. Guide, village decision making.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. All right, anything else? All right, well then I'll just make these changes then, all right?
Thank you for doing that.
Yeah. All righty, so we'll just bring it back next month with the change, and I think Sarah, you lead the next one, right?
Yep.
Yes.
July.
So we'll be doing, chapter 1 review. All right. Do I have a motion for adjournment?
I didn't make a motion to adjourn this meeting.
Second.
All right, I have a motion and second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. We are done. Thank you.